Play different.
Greetings fellow Mac addicts. In this video we're looking at Poing by Rick Holzgrafe. And yes, I am going to keep on pronouncing it that way because of the exclamation mark in the title. So let's dive in, shall we? Yes, let's shall. The idea behind Poing is quite simple. You bounce a ball around a screen and collect a certain number of items before the time runs out or the game is over. Of course, things aren't actually that simple. You bounce the ball around by dropping down flippers, basically forward and back slashes, and depending on the direction the ball is already moving, the ball would then fly off into a different direction, although it can be a while before you really master sending the ball where you want to. Those flippers stay on the playfield and will continue to bounce the ball if it collides with them, though you do have the power to erase flippers. The game changes up the graphics and sound as you progress through the game, such as an insect theme, and plays with different mechanics, such as traps which will hold the ball, flippers which will change direction once hit, and flippers which don't show which way they're actually flipped. And that is Poing in a nutshell. Holzgrafe wrote the original version of Poing for a Unix system way back in the day. It was quite a simple affair and he never publicly released this version. It was basically a clone of another game Holzgrafe played, but he couldn't remember the name of it. While doing research to try and find out which game this was, I found that there were quite a few games like this dating all the way back to 1979. So, the game that inspired Poing could have been Slash Ball, Target Pong, Deflection, Deflector, P-Pong, Pongerang, and perhaps the most well-known of them all, Jeff Minter's Deflex. Another company's product convinced Holzgrafe that a good way to make sales is to take an old video game concept and dress it up for the Mac as nice as possible. And so that's what he did with Poing! He took his original game and added color and sound, new mechanics and pre-designed levels, and it even came with a level editor. And so Holzgrafe released this version, but he says he may as well have dropped it down a well, and never got any significant press coverage, and never sold more than a few dozen copies. Despite this, Holzgrafe says that although the game was a disappointment as a product, he was still happy and proud of the game and enjoyed playing it himself. Poing is a very well polished and programmed game. It can also be quite fun, but I do have a few theories as to why it didn't take off as much as it could have. Most obviously, it's a very unforgiving game. The mechanics can take quite a while to get used to, and the game doesn't really give you the chance to do that, with a super fast ball and a very strict time limit right from the get-go. You can make the ball go slower, but the time limit remains the same, so it doesn't really help that much. Within my first hour playing, I struggled to get past the first few levels, which likely would put off a lot of people back in the day. I mean, as you can see in the videos, I'm still sending the ball flying in the wrong direction, even after playing for quite a while. I also have a problem with the erase mechanic. While it does help alleviate some of the extreme difficulty of the game, it also takes away some of the fun. One of the appeals of this genre is dealing with the mistakes and the mess you make as you progress through a level. It also renders some of the level design obsolete, since you can just erase your way through a lot of the obstacles that they throw at you. I think that a limited use erase power and pre-placed flippers which can't be erased would have worked a lot better. Still, as I already mentioned, Poing is a well-crafted game, and is still worth a try if you can deal with a high difficulty level. And that, my friends, is Poing!